Hi everyone! I thought as summer was very much on the way, it would be good to do this page from, this is from, oh hang on, oh sorry, this is from Seasons by Hanna Karlzon, and we've done her spring page, her winter page and her autumn page, so I thought we would have a go at this summer page. Just slide it under there a little bit. So we're going to start with the butterfly. I think there actually aren't that many butterflies in Hannah's books that I've coloured, so this is going to be fun and interesting for me. And let's get it in the middle if we can, a little bit closer in. It's really bright and sunny today. The sun isn't on the book yet, so I have left the blind open. I'm trying to push the light a bit closer, wondering if it's going to make it a little bit better, but we'll see. It's quite tricky for me to see what it looks like on the screen until I actually edit, but there we go. Let's make a start. Now I think the body of our butterfly would be quite nice if it was quite silvery. I'm actually using Polychromos today, by the way. I probably should have mentioned that right at the beginning. So we use the cold colours. I'm going to actually start with quite a dark one. This is Cold Grey 6. Just give it a sharp, and it's quite a fine detail page. So this is our new morning series, which is quite exciting. I'm going to start just by putting some darker bits here and there, just to get going really. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to do. I had a request from Francis to do a bugs page. I was a little bit reluctant because I know that some people aren't keen on bugs, but I thought I might do maybe a couple. This was from just having a look at the shapes of the different bits on the body here. I think we'll go here and here with the darker bit. Make that quite dark in there to sort of separate the head from that bit of body. Yeah, so I thought I might do a few. That's from Daydreams by Hanna Karlzon. Actually, I was thinking I might put a little pole up on the I think I'm going to make these ones dark on the edges and these ones dark on the top. I don't know if that's going to look a bit odd. We'll see. A little poll to see which books by which authors you prefer me to do videos from. I know some of you don't really mind, but I know some of you like to colour along. Right, I'm going to go down a couple of notches with my colour. You could go down one at a time, so go to Cold Grey 5 next, but I'm sort of jumping ahead a little bit. Oh, didn't do the end of those bits. Oops. Just dropping the pencil. Let's do these. There we go. So I'm dropping down to Cold Grey 4. You could do 5 in between, but I quite like to go a bit lighter, so I'm going to start extending this colour a bit. I want to leave some white so it looks a bit shiny and silvery. I think it will look quite nice if it looks a bit silvery. And you could use a silver pencil to get a silver look, but I find that it's not always, doesn't always produce the look I'm looking for, which is why I don't use them that often. I prefer coloured metallics, lots of, like the Castles or the Brute Funa metallic pencils, where you get a nice range of different colours. Just adding in one metallic, and sometimes I do it, but I'm not always sure of what I think really. Am I making any sense? I've got no idea. So it's half term this week and I've left the boys revising on their own. I've asked them to try and encourage each other. This is Cold Grey 2. I'm not sure if that's a little bit pale, but we'll have a go. Hopefully they'll be okay, but I had to make a start on this series or else I wouldn't get... Did I even do the lighter colour on that side? No. Distracted this morning. This is Cold Grey 4. There we go. Yeah, I needed to get on with this series and I took a bit too much time off at the weekend, which was rather nice. My husband insisted on us. I know I haven't done the eyes, I'm going to do them in black. and husband wanted to go out walking, which was really nice because he doesn't normally like walking, but with the sort of pretty flowers and ducklings along the canal and the heron we saw actually, different birds and things, it sort of encouraged him to want to go out, so I don't want to discourage him. And it was nice having a bit of time. When in the house he gets quite distracted, he likes to have videos on and things, so we don't get to talk. Now when you go for a walk, it's rather nice. So we've been doing a bit of that. I'm just going to put a bit of this at the bottom there, because although I wanted to sort of fade it off, I feel like it needs to just be finished at the end. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I quite like that. I don't know if it looks silvery, but it's fun. I'm going to do the eyes in a black. Now ideally I'd like to leave a little tiny white dot in the centre of the eye to look like it's catching the light, but I've got a feeling that's going to be tricky. I managed it on that one, but will I manage it on this one? Yeah. If you don't use a white pen, dot dot, you need a really little one. It's a very, very small space. You'd want a 0.5 nib, something like that. Right, let's give that a little brush. It's not too dirty, but and let's think about these wings. I'm thinking lots of colour. Mixed colour or no, I think we'll stick with a limited palette. I'm just looking at what else is on the page and thinking about what colours we're going to be having. There's nothing here apart from the strawberries which actually has a colour that you feel you need to stick to a certain colour, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go for some nice blues, I'm thinking. Let's start with, let's do these sorts of turquoise-ish, that's obviously a word, blues. This one is the helio turquoise. And I'm going to do these, I think, to start with. So I'm going to fade them towards the edge. Like that. Same on this side. So I'm just layering it up more here and less here really. And I'm going to do the same with these. I'm sort of going to do everything that's this sort of shape with this colour. Just, you know, why not? Gosh, it's so sunny. I was going to go out and it's so sunny. I just don't feel like going out in the sun. I also wanted to get on and do some colouring. It's fun, more fun. Fun in the sun? Not for me, sorry. I know a lot of people like sunshine. I think I'm going to do these shapes here. But I've already got a bit sunburned and it's only May. These ones I'm going to go darker on the edge and a bit lighter in the middle. I think a circle can look nice like that. I know it's a butterfly and it's not going to be three-dimensional in this sort of way, but it doesn't matter. It's my picture. I sound like a spoiled brat. It's my picture. Do it how I want. Maybe I am. But this is the thing to remember when you're colouring. There's no rules. Do it your way. Make sure you're enjoying it. I know a lot of people get a little bit concerned. They want to make it look realistic, or they want to use certain techniques and styles, but at the end of the day, it's your project. You don't have to show anybody. You can do it your way. You can experiment. If it all goes wrong, it doesn't matter. I have had things go completely wrong. Sometimes I just leave it, sometimes I cover it up or rework it. Paint pens are quite good for covering up mistakes. It depends what sort of mistake, of course. but often I find if something looks a bit wrong, I'll just leave it, and then when I come back to it, I just continue with the rest of the page, and when I see it later, I actually like it. Right, I'm going for a lighter colour now. This is, I'm just looking it up because my brain isn't awake. This is cobalt green, and I'm going to do the sort of backgroundy areas, so in here, and I just want it to look quite flat, if you know what I mean, so even. I actually find it quite difficult colouring evenly, but I'm going to do my best. My feet are so cold. It's so sunny today, and yet I'm cold. But it's that time of year where you want it to warm up a little bit in the house, but you don't want it to get too hot. So, but it got really hot the other day, and it was a bit cooler last night, which was nice. I slept better. I only woke up once, really hot, and I cooled off and got back under the covers, but that was a hot flash in the middle of the night, but they're a lot worse when it's hot weather. At least I find that anyway. Oh, we're going to do that bit in there. So you can see I am just trying my hardest to keep it just, oops, over the lines. Didn't want to do that, but never mind. Flat colouring in these places. So it's really quite straightforward. Well, it should be. I just keep going out of the lines. And in here, you might feel that that would have looked better in this colour. Maybe. That's what I'm thinking now. Maybe it would have made more sense. But you can always do it your way. Saw a blue butterfly the other day along the canal. It wasn't this shade of blue. I don't think butterflies come in this colour, but they probably do. They probably come in every colour, to be honest. But it was a purplish blue, like a cornflower sort of colour, I guess. It was really pretty. It was very, very quick. I glanced at it, but apparently in our area, certain type of blue butterfly, the name escapes me, has became rare, and they're all breeding again, so I don't know if it was one of those. But last year I saw lots of common blue butterflies. It might have been one of those. As I said, it was so quick I couldn't tell, and it was quite small, but it might have just been newly, would you say hatched? Because they come out of their chrysalis, don't they? So they emerge, maybe, I don't know, metamorphosized. It's a big word for a Monday morning. It's Monday morning. It's actually Tuesday morning. My goodness. We had a bank holiday yesterday. I know a lot of countries did. I think it was, we have our, it's called, is it just called late May bank holiday? No, spring bank holiday. Just checking on my calendar. But I know in USA it's Memorial Day, I think. Weekend, I don't know whether you do anything special. We don't. We just, it's always the first Monday of half term, so the children are all off school, so it's a really busy week for going on holiday, for those children that don't have exams, unlike mine. So traffic was really bad at the weekend apparently, and at the airport. I'm going to do these ones, I like these, in a slightly different colour to the loopy bits. For I think I'm going to do those quite dark. I want them to stand out. I have got a, what have I got left? Colour-wise, sorry, I had to blow my nose. Or wipe my nose at least. I think I'm going to use this bluish turquoise for those. It's quite dark. No, I think I'll use that for those loopy bits actually. I use this one. This is the cobalt turquoise. I use that for these bits. And for these I think I'm going to make them darker at the base here, and then make them lighter towards the tip. Like that. I don't know if you can see that much different. Yeah, so everyone, the passport machines in one of the airports, or whether it was all of them, I don't know whether it was a software error. You can have your passports checked by an e-reader, it was called, or something. So I guess it makes it much faster to get through passport control, and they all broke down. So everyone had to wait to have their passports checked by a person, which is how it used to always happen, of course, but they probably wouldn't have had the staff in initially to do it, all the sort of setup. So that caused complete chaos apparently. But it makes my husband went, I'm so glad we're not going away on holiday. But of course these sorts of things happen, and then you sort of, it just forms part of the memory of the holiday, and as long as you don't look at it in too much of a negative light, it can be fine. But anyway, we are planning a few breaks in the summer. I think not nights away. We're going to go to London, I think. So here's the darker one, the bluish turquoise. Now I'm going to use that for all these loops, not the maybe the outside as well. Now I'm trying to think whether to do it like this, so harder here and lighter in the middle, or whether to do it in a block. I'm going to do them all like this and then decide. I'll probably be too lazy to change it once I do it this way. So I'm just trying to fade it just a little bit on that top of the arch. But yeah, we want to go to have a tour of Buckingham Palace and the Houses of Parliament. Just seems like fun. We've also decided we're going to go and have a tour of Highgrove House Gardens. Now Highgrove House is where the King lives, and I don't know if he's living there now. Before he was king, he's been living there for a long time, and I guess he has to spend a lot of time in London now. But his gardens are open to the public, and you can have a 2-hour, I think it's a 2-hour guided tour, which, was it an hour? I can't remember. Anyway, to have a tour of the gardens, which I thought would be fun. I do like looking at gardens, but even though my garden is a gravel yard with a few pots, I bought some more plants though. I bought 2 Hebes. Oh, I need to do this one. One was just a sort of normal one, and the other one was a sort of reddish colour in the leaf, or burgundy I suppose. So that was nice. And I also bought another plant, I don't know what it was called. I want to say a chrysanthemum, but that just sounds like I've mixed chrysanthemum and rhododendron and gone a bit mad. I'm sure it was called that. But it was a white. There were different colour flowers, but I picked a white one. Like they look like daisies, but the centres are black, and the foliage is sort of green-grey. But I wanted to pick all plants that are evergreen. I hope that one is, because I like to have all year-round colour. I sort of think I don't like it when the garden is completely bare in the winter. It's nice to have some leaves in the winter. So I also think it's much better value for money if you have a plant that survives all the time. Some of them, they said they're only up to -10, so but I think that should be okay. It doesn't normally get that cold. Okay, now I've got to decide on the very outside of the wings, and I'm actually going to do those in black. I think I could use the Prussian blue or the indigo, but no, I'm going to go for black. And I'm going to do them a really hard black, so no shading on these, just lots of layer. I think indigo actually might have looked quite good, but this will sort of tie in with the eyes, I suppose, and the body a little bit more. So I'm trying to get it even. I'm trying to get it dark, and we'll put some white dots on this at the end to brighten it up a bit. not sure how many items are on this page. We've got a gemstone here. I've done one really similar to that before. I think there's quite, the gemstones on these pages are quite similar. But normally when there's a gemstone picture, because it's quite small, I do it with something else. But I think there isn't anything else that's only going to take a small amount of time. So I think it will be a video on its own. A quick one. But that's okay. I think sometimes it's good to have a quicker one. If you've got a day where you're busy, you haven't been able to watch my video, you can find a short one, or it'll be a bit easier to catch up or something like that. I know a lot of you watch a lot, which I really appreciate. And those of you that just dip in and out, I appreciate too. But I do, I'm heading towards 8,000 subscribers, which is really exciting. It seems hardly any time since I was on 7,500. And yeah, it's good. So tell your friends to subscribe. I might hit 8,000 quicker. But it's not, I mean, it's just quite overwhelming, to be honest. To think that many people have subscribed. I know not everyone is an active subscriber, but even so, just trying to get round the corner. There we go. And I don't sort of number watch massively. I don't think it's necessarily healthy, but it's still rather fun when it gets that high. I'm just trying to find my jelly roll pen that I want. I'm going to grab the number 10 because it's a nice thick nib, and we've got quite a big thick black. If you're doing the eyes, you don't want to use this one, use your 5 if you've got one. So I'm going to do some smaller dots. So that one is a bit bigger, these are a bit smaller, bigger one there, and then come down like that. And a bigger one there. Now to do a bigger one, see, with the smaller ones I just lift the pen up quite quickly. For a bigger one I actually write. I don't know if you know what I mean, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So a bigger one, round and round. I can put my arm around this way, it's going to be a bit awkward. Try and stay central if you can. I've not been very good at doing that. It's very awkward. There we go, and a bigger one here. And a few white dots can make such a difference to a picture. It's quite funny how can make a difference. Right, we're going to do some more as well. So I'm going to do some on the actual design here to make it look a little bit more gemstone-y. So on the sort of round bits. And the other side without smudging. Wish me luck. It's usually wise to go top downwards or left to right, depending on if you're left or right handed. Sorry, I realised my hand's right over the top. I set myself an awkward challenge. You'll be able to see it when I'm done anyway. Oh, and those. There we go. I need to sit back and just check. Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm happy. So there we go. Yeah, I think that's that looks good. So there is our very first one, which is the butterfly. So we'll be doing the gemstone tomorrow. But thank you so much for watching. Have a super day and happy colouring.